Thank Christ the government are finally selling Channel 4, a long-standing national embarrassment. A worthy project when it was first created by Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s to promote cultural diversity, it has been for at least 10 years now a nest of mentally subnormal public school narcissists all sat around considering what to commission, asking themselves, is it gay enough? Can we get someone disabled to present it? Can we work in some sort of penis-based game show element? And can we give each other a big pat on the back and a pay rise? I think it was quite clear that Channel 4 had reached its absolute nadir in 2019 when the results of the last general election were coming through and Channel 4's coverage consisted of Krishnan Guru Murphy, Nish Kumar and David Baddiel all sat in a studio crying and confused and angrily shouting at Boris Johnson's dad, trying to find a reason to call him racist. Meanwhile, this week at the BBC, executives have quietly binned June Sarpong's £267,000 a year part-time role as a diversity star, as the organisation seeks to slim down on its inclusivity bureaucracy. But that's clearly too little too late, isn't it? With the BBC heading inexorably towards the scrap heap, its most celebrated broadcasters can't escape from the organisation quickly enough, with Andrew Marr, Dan Walker, John Sopel and Emily Maitlis all running for the hills. What these national broadcasters are finally starting to realise is that the expression "get woke, go broke" isn't just a smart-ass aphorism, it's a glaring fucking reality. These developments at Channel 4 and the BBC are an outward sign that people have had enough of being force-fed diversity, inclusivity, woke drivel by screeching censorious Marxists. At a time of hyperinflation, skyrocketing bills, people wondering whether they're going to be able to continue feeding their families and making their rent or mortgage payments, no one is prepared to entertain the poisonous identity politics being forced upon them by our cultural institutions any longer. With the simmering threat of war in the Ukraine escalating into wider conflict, no one gives a fuck about millennial gender identity, racial grievances or chosen personal pronouns anymore. In recent decades, we've seen an infantilization of our culture, individuals positively encouraged by our political and cultural institutions to delay adulthood, to piss about a university for years on end and to then live in their parents' house well into their 30s because they entered the job market so late that they couldn't afford to rent anywhere and no one would give them a mortgage. We've seen video games geared towards an adult market, cinemas filled with superhero films, middle-aged men dressed in trainers and hoodies when they used to be the preserve of toddlers and school children. Well, it's time to grow up, isn't it? Time to bin all the woke bullshit. Time to bin the victimhood complex. Time for millennials to accept responsibility for their own lives. Time for young people to stop expecting opportunities based on their gender, ethnicity or sexual orientation based on perceived historical injustices. Time to stop using the alleged crimes of the past to play the victim in the present. And it's time for our cultural institutions to stop peddling that sort of ideological poison or otherwise go out of business. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel and support my comedy via PayPal or Patreon via the links below. But most of all, cancel your licence fee and switch off your fucking television.